name of the show is The Way to Go. My name is Alan Bendich. I'm going to be your host. We have a very special guest tonight. He's an actor, he's an entertainer, he's a songwriter, and he's here tonight. Mr. MC Mixson. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, man.
So, you're a singer? Oh, what would you say is your, you're all three things.
Right.
How would you define yourself as the main thing that you do?
I'd like to define myself as songwriter.
Songwriter, that's cool.
Writer's more safe of the word.
So, when did you realize that you were a songwriter? I mean, how did that come about?
You know, songwriting, you got to be really creative. So, you know, ever since I was the age of 9 years old,
wow.
I've been making words rhyme, but not like rhyming, rapping. It was like a poetry thing, you know, like in school. And when you abbreviate the word rap, you got the word rhythm and poetry.
Oh, so, I didn't know that. You know, that's cool.
With time, I just been writing, and you know, it grew. It's something that was developed with time and experience.
So, do you have any people, any artists that you emulate, that you really like, that you used to listen to? That might
there's varieties of artists that I've listened to in the time frame of my life. Like, of course, you know the hip hop legends: Biggie Smalls, Tupac, Nas, Jay-Z.
Wow.
You know the names that's been around since like the late 80s, 90s era.
Did you like any of the music that predated rap, or is it mostly been influenced mostly by rap?
Yeah, well, I like what sounds good.
Right. So, are you a native New Yorker?
I am. I was born in Manhattan, actually.
Cool.
But my mom, when she had me, she took me back home to Brooklyn.
Right.
You know, when she was pregnant and gave birth, she was in Manhattan. But the rest of my life, I lived in Brooklyn, New York.
So do you think the music was shaped by the environment that you lived in, or?
I could say that. Yeah. There's experiences that we all have. We all have a story to tell.
Was it a tough neighborhood? Was it a not tough neighborhood? I mean, you're a young man. I mean, when I was growing up, there was a lot of action going on in the city, and in Brooklyn it was like pretty wild.
Yeah.
So was it wild when you were growing up, or was it more?
Yeah, it was. It was. I'd say around the 2005, 2006 time. It's been a whole different world. You know?
So you were able to avoid that. I mean, all the craziness.
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
And
it wasn't easy, but.
So when did you first actually? I mean, when did you actually start singing and writing music rather than just the starting of writing poetry?
Oh, like seriously?
Right.
Okay, like around. Wow, I'd say. I had to be like 19 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did you have any success when you were doing that at that point, or?
Yeah, I mean, I started off, doing the showcases and trying to network. You know, I've been doing that for years.
Right.
I see myself aging. I have a child, so like different things came into play as time passed, and I've gotten more motivated and determined. There's certain times where I've gotten discouraged.
Right.
But I've done performances, shows, successful records.
Right.
I've created.
So what is that like? I mean, when you're struggling in the beginning, right, and then all of a sudden something hits. I mean,
that feeling is it's undescribable feeling, man. But that's what it feels. I mean, it's just when you put your hard work and effort into something for so long. For you to actually have, like, to see it happen, for a dream to actually come true, that's worth more than anything in the world.
Have you ever gone to a club and your music's playing?
Yeah, my song got played in different clubs,
so
of course. I mean,
like?
that's just a matter of networking, you know.
What was that like? I mean, when you walk in, you see people dancing to your music or just listening to the music, getting into it. I mean, it's got to be.
It's cool, yeah. It's like a psychology thing. It makes you feel good. At the same time, you got to have a level of humbleness, you know, but like Yeah, like to have your music played. That now in this day and age of music, hip hop, it's really easy. Like you know, back then it was this hard like door you had to break down to get your music played. But there's different loopholes and ways to do it.
And there's messages in your music.
Oh yeah, of course. Sometimes I may come off a little harsh, you know, because I may have been going through some hard things at that moment, you know. But I like to always put a twist of positivity at the end of my music.
So that comes, positivity is where it comes from.
Yes.
You're coming from a point of positivity.
Yes, I try to turn the negative into a positive.
And that's, I mean, we met today, and you seem to be a very positive person, and a pleasure to speak with. So I would imagine that your music and your art that you bring out would be positive, you know?
Yes, yes it is. You know, this show, it's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, great.
People have been speaking really highly about this show.
Thank you.
Shout out to John Thomas.
Yeah, JT.
You know, JT's a really awesome guy.
He's our friend.
Yeah.
And we want him to be healthy.
Yes.
Right, we want him to be good.
Yeah, I'm praying.
We're all praying.
Right.
But you know what else we're praying for? We're praying to hear your music. You brought some music with you today, right?
Sure.
To share.
Yes, I sure have. It's called Adventures.
Adventures.
No, I have two songs. I have a song called. The reason why I decided to play this song is because there's a video coming out in the future.
Right.
And I just wanted to play the song so you guys can get familiar.
And I really want to play it for the audience.
Okay.
So,
okay, sure.
So it's an audio clip, but it's a wonderful audio clip. So,
yes, it's very
so I'd like
creative.
I'd like to share your music. It's called Adventures, right?
Yes.
And
unique. It has no hook. On the song, but it's like rapping from beginning to the end. But there's a lot of different types of energy. I just hope you guys enjoy.
So let's hear it.
Let's do it.
Awesome.
Mix. What? Ha!
That was great. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks a lot, man.
And it was, it's positive, and you can't stop wanting to dance, even though you're sitting in a chair.
Yeah.
But it was really nice, and it's just upbeat, and it was good.
Yeah,
It was good.
I like bouncy type of music, you know, just whatever sounds great.
Well, it sounded great. It really did. So, I mean, let's talk a little bit about your acting, if that's okay. I mean,
yeah, of course.
That was good. So,
different lanes. You know.
Right. That's it. It's another way to express yourself, right?
Mm-hmm. Expression, right?
Do you find acting, do you get the same release or rush from acting? It's probably different, but it's still like it's walking a tightrope, which is going to be the next song that we're doing later.
It is. Yeah.
But when you're an actor, you know, you have to have your lines.
Right. That's right.
You have to be in the moment.
Well said. In the moment, right?
And you have to, totally forget this cameras like we have here.
Yeah,
it's just usually. Acting is dialogue for the most part. It's one person speaking to another. And it could be a man and a woman. It could be two friends, whatever it is. But it's two people talking. It's usually dialogue.
Well said.
And
the
art, you have to have that connection.
Well said. The art of writing. Well, it all plays into it. So I can all these songs I know by heart. Right. So if I can manage to know these songs by heart, I mean it's nothing to remember a script, especially if it's a real life, supposed to be like a story. Right. You know, it's easier to remember a script than a song. You know, because it's all in the mind. It's the imagination of whatever the story is about and what the scene is.
But one thing from my experience, it's also important who the person you're acting with, the other person. You know.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, that's the main.
I mean, if you have someone, the whole thing. I took one acting class when I was in Hollywood, and that was it. Wow. And it was basically a cold reading course. And what it was is you get the script 5 minutes before you're about to do your audition. It's like how to do an audition. cold reading, because they give you a script, you got 5 minutes to look at it, then it said, okay, action, you have to do the scene. So the whole thing then is not, the words are secondary to the connection. So you have to somehow make it interesting, like two people communicating.
That's
so
right.
whether the words are a little bit off are secondary to the connection that you have with that person when you're speaking to them.
Right. That's
So
right.
that's the thing. I love that aspect of acting.
It all matters, right?
Right. And also, it's like you can create a whole new reality.
Right.
Like you never met this person before, but the next thing you know, it's like your best friends talking. you know?
It's almost magical, man.
It is magical.
You know, like the art of entertainment and networking, and you know, like it's deeper than, oh my God, let me read the script and memorize it. You know,
Right.
you gotta really be in tune with the actual work.
Right. The other thing that's interesting, though, I don't know, because I've worked recently in mostly low-budget films, you know, where we don't have all the luxury of a lot of rehearsal time. And sometimes you come to the set, most of the time, especially in independent features, you come to the set, and that's the first time you meet the person you're doing the scene with. So and the best part is when the connection happens instantaneously.
Yeah, you'll know it. It'll be natural, and you'll feel it. Like,
Right.
you know, I network a lot. Go like 200 and something shows running. I'm like super proud of you, man.
I'm an old guy. You know, you're still young. No, I'm saying you do it long enough and you keep on doing it, you're going to wind up being in a lot of shows. That's the whole thing. So
Congratulations.
yeah, it's good. The 200 shows just of the way to go, you know. And then with the other acting is like all kinds of other stuff, but it's fun. And you know, I gave up for 10 years, you know, but it pulled me back in. I gave up for 20 years. What am I talking about? I left. I was in Hollywood, and I came back in 1989. And then 2010, I started acting again. So like 21 years later.
Wow.
So so the thing is, if you have it in you, you don't feel complete unless you're doing it. You know, I mean, let's say if you couldn't act or you couldn't sing for whatever reason because you had to do something else, how would that make you feel? I mean, or right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it wouldn't feel right. You know, this is something this is a gift. This is something that you. Like you said, it's in you. This is without you doing it. It's like you need this as much as you need oxygen. You know?
So what's your next steps? I mean, in terms of like, let's say songwriting, because I think that's really, you're I'm sure you're doing great and everything, but I think that your true love is writing, right? I mean,
Yes.
What do you
I
plan
love
to
to
do?
act. I love to
acting
network.
is great, man.
You know,
But I'm saying, do you have any big? I mean, do
I also
songs?
produce film as well.
Oh, you do?
Me and JT. A
that's
movie
right.
called Redemption on Gun Hill Road.
Which I won, and I used to live near
Associate
Gun Hill
producer.
Road. I was saying, God, I wish I was in that movie.
Yeah, man. I mean,
But what was it about?
well, we're gonna have to watch it. You know, because it's many scenes getting shot. Shout out to Carolina, John. You know, the whole crew. You know, there's a lot of names. David
Was it
Ruttenberg.
Carolina? What was the last name? Marcochese?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, she was on the show. Yeah, she was one of my guests.
That's awesome. See.
Yeah, and she was I was producing another show that I wanted her to be on, but she was away. She was out of town when we actually produced it. It was something called Scriptless, which a show that I used to do, and I'm going to continue doing here from LMC TV. So. But is the Gun Hill Road you're talking about is in the Bronx, right?
Yes.
And that's where I'm from. I'm literally 3 blocks away from.
Oh yeah,
Gun
you really
Hill.
should have been there.
I know, man.
Wow. I
So,
mean,
it was Gun Hill and what? Do you know the?
I know it's located in the Bronx.
No,
I
but
travel a lot.
But do you remember the cross street that it was filmed on?
No.
Okay.
When it was being filmed, just to let you know, I'm kind of like, this is like my second month back in New York.
Right.
For a whole year and a half, I just up and said, you know what, I'm going to travel all over America and
With your music?
promote my music. And
Wow.
that's what I did. I went to California, Hollywood.
What was it like in California?
Atlanta, Texas, Georgia.
What was the best spot for you when you were playing?
I'd like to say Hollywood was good. California was good. You know, not only Hollywood,
Were you in
it was
Northern
different
California?
areas.
Did you go
Long
up to
Beach,
Oakland and San Francisco in that area? Because there's
Santa Monica area.
Yeah, well, Northern
Beach.
California has an unbelievable music scene, and especially around Oakland and San Francisco, the jazz scene.
Oakland, they got nice
I
places.
have relatives over there. I lived there. Before I went to Hollywood, I lived up there.
Wow.
With relatives, and they were all in the music scene. I met Chaka through my cousin, who's a percussionist. He plays conga. He plays all kinds of percussion. I met Sheila Escovedo, who eventually became Sheila E. I met Chaka Khan. I met all the people, George Duke, Stanley Clarke, all these unbelievable artists. I wish I was a musician. I met Stevie Wonder several times. We used to go to Wonderland, but that was when I was in Hollywood. But if only I was a musician. But the music scene in California is intense. I mean,
I really like California. Atlanta, it was like, Atlanta is Georgia is good as well. You know, it's like more for like hip hop, rap genre, but different states like California, you know, like all type of music. You know, you could go different places. I mean,
So
I like everywhere I went. Everywhere I went, I had a great time.
Talking about music, how would you describe Tightrope?
Tightrope. Oh, Tightrope. I actually, that's a song I recorded in Georgia.
Wow.
Before I made it back to New York.
Is it one of your favorites?
You said what?
Is it one of your favorite songs that you're? I guess they're all.
I mean,
like babies,
yeah.
right?
I mean, yeah. It's not one of my favorites, but it's one of my latest.
Okay.
You know?
But would you say that you like it enough to share it with our audience?
Yes. I'm satisfied with the track.
So is it okay if I share it with them?
Oh yeah. Let's.
Okay. So
Sure.
let's share this work of art called Tightrope by
Let's do it.
MC Mixson.
Mix.
Let me remind you, then again, let me surprise you. If you in the dark, hope I can find you. Shine a light bright, hope I don't blind you. Give you that work, haters be digging up dirt. Yeah, I see. Did a lot on this planet called Earth. Looking for my home, looking for the universe. More than likely, they may not like me talking spicy. Just do it like Nike, send me a check. Way to excite me. Pussy drip wet, all cause I'm icy. Look at you upset. Side is your wife, let me not digress. Let me live life, move on to the next. Gotta trust wisely. Honestly, as far as my eyes can see, hip hop the hypocrisy. You motherfuckers got to be drinking some chlorine, oxy bleach. If you thinking that you could roll a rock with me, get rock to sleep. Lullaby, not the sheep, to go to wolf. There ain't no stopping deep. Process of elimination is not complete until I see my opposition is obsolete. On another level, hotter than a kettle. We can settle how you in the settle. Pedal to the metal, cradle to the grave. Got my mouth for the shovel. Everybody know, mix my for the rebel. Now my heart is so ice cold, just to watch it all unfold. Just going through it, all I know, no love, I trust them all on my own. Walking life on the tightrope, let me let you notice. Talking trials, tribulations, just keeping it focused. Going through it all, righteous, trying to see next morning. In the mix here, caught up in a moment. Walking life on the tightrope, let me let you notice. Talking trials, tribulations, just keeping it focused. Going through it all, righteous, trying to see next morning. In the mix here, caught up in a moment. Mix. Melody just keeping it focused. Walking life on a tightrope, let me let you notice. Yeah. In the mix here, caught up in a moment.
I really like your music, man. It's
Thanks a lot.
Really awesome.
Thanks a lot, Alan.
And it really gets you, it makes me feel young again. And when you start talking about focus and living in the moment and really life.
The irony of you speaking about moment before the song, right?
And also the tightrope. Even the title of it, it's like.
Because it really is me being on a tightrope. This song is like the shortest song I've ever done in history. Like, a verse and a hook.
Right.
But the point is getting straight to it. The stuff I'm going through, trials, tribulations.
Right.
It's a lot of things. People think that Mixson got it so good, but only the ones that's really the closest, would understand that it's the real story of what it is. But,
no one gets through it easy. That's the whole thing.
Easy, yeah.
Life is, you look at people and you never know what's going through their life. You just see a face, you see someone walking down the street, but there's a whole story behind those people. Everyone you see is not just the face walking down.
That's right. And shout out to the music producer. His name is Rashid. He goes, his music is Rashid music.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, the music was mixed nicely. I mean, it was beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah, really beautiful.
Also, there's this woman that.
Well, I wanted to,
I'm sorry.
I wanted to bring it up to you. Like, we were sharing before about. Unless it was, I was going to talk about Cynthia.
No. Go ahead. Go back to.
No, I wanted to talk about Cynthia, your partner, right, in crime, your friend, right?
Yeah, it's a really long story about that, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, you know, she is, you know, I'm very proud of her. You know, she's a CEO. You know,
Right.
she goes by the name of Sin.
Okay.
You know,
okay. I'm
Sin.
sorry.
You could say Sin. You know.
Because my brother's life partner, her name is Cynthia.
Wow,
So
it's like you know, it's like a million of those names, right?
Yeah.
But you know, I tip my hat off to her. You know, we share a beautiful 8-year-old child. You know, so.
And what
now
is,
she's the CEO of eyelash company.
well, yeah, I think we actually have. Is it an Instagram of her?
Yeah, it's pretty by.
I guess we're going to show it
lashes.
if we could.
Yeah, if you guys.
There it is up there. It's
Yeah, that's right.
okay. If you
Pretty by Sin Lashes. You guys follow her, check her out.
right.
She's an awesome
That's
creative fashion person.
right.
I also
Okay, I
scout
just wanted to
talent.
get that in before.
Yeah, no, that's good. I also scout talent. There's a woman named Keisha Esprit.
Okay, I'm not familiar with her.
Yeah, she's an author.
Yeah.
She does a lot of like stuff for fashion models and
Right.
stuff.
That's cool.
You know,
That's wonderful, man.
you guys
We have
should
to take it.
definitely
We have to
network.
appreciate and show appreciation to the people that show appreciation for us that we
Well
love.
said.
I mean,
Well
it's
said. That's right.
so it's
Loyalty.
important, you know. I mean, there's very, you know, I mean, even though there's a million people, a billion people, whatever it is, you know, hundreds of millions of people out there.
That's right.
When you really look at it, there's just like a group of people that are the only people.
That's really there. you
Yeah,
know.
and that's it. And you have to show
Shout out.
appreciation.
That's right. Shout out to everyone
That's it.
in the Mixson corner. You
That's
know. As well as the Allen
Oh
corner.
no, I
you know.
appreciate it. No, it's we have
That
to
matters.
take care of each other. That's the
right.
purpose of this show, is really to give a spotlight to young
And
artists
you know
like
what?
yourself.
And I so appreciate that, because that's so unselfish. You know.
But it's also,
like-
but I think it's selfish because I'm having a good time doing it. So
Hey,
I do it for fun, but I'm doing it really. What I did, the reason why I started this show, a couple of reasons. My father-in-law used to do the show, but I shifted it over because people started using me in films again. You know, I started
right.
acting again.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be able to help them get, you know, give them a place to have spotlight.
platform, right?
Yeah, platform, exactly. Thank you for helping me with that senior moment. But to give them a
Wow.
platform, and maybe they, you know, give them an opportunity to be interviewed, because not everyone gets an opportunity to be interviewed.
That's right. That's right. Me, it's an act. You know, it's a pleasure to be here. A pleasure and honor. You know,
Well, it's
for JT
let's keep it on the
to
pleasure.
invite
Pleasure
me
side.
here.
The honest stuff is
yeah.
nice, but it's really if it's not a pleasure, you shouldn't do it. That's the other thing I realized, that if in life, I'm 64.
Wow.
The things.
You don't age a bit, man.
Well, I am. My
Vitamin
body's
C
saying
cake,
it's 64. But there's no reason to do anything if you don't enjoy it. You know, that's the
Right,
whole
right.
thing. I mean,
Yeah,
unless
without-
it's something to make sure that your family, you know, once your family's together and all this,
Sacrifices,
you know,
yeah.
you can sacrifice certain things, but at some point in life, you got to start doing the stuff that you really enjoy.
right. If
Because
you don't
only
love
get-
it, it's why do it.
right, you only go around once. You know.
Right, wow. Well
And that's
said.
it. So you really have to enjoy life. That's the whole thing. Or at least try to do the things that make you enjoy life. So that's my message. That's my dad's message, who I talked about before, the 104-year-old guy. You have to love. You know, life is good, and you have to do the things because you only go around once.
That's right.
That's it.
You know what? That meant a lot to me. You know, I hear that a lot. And, you know, the irony of you telling me this as well, and just the messages received.
Well, the thing is, and you'll be saying it too, and you know.
Yeah, I pass it down because I look, you know,
But
I'm
you're still-
almost 30. You know, I'm not
You're a
like,
young man still, though. You know, and I mean, you're still building. Right
Yeah.
now, I'm just trying to enjoy. You know,
Wow,
and
well said.
and that's it, because these are the golden years. You know
That's
what I mean?
right.
And,
That's wow. Wow.
And I love this. I love this show. I love this station. This LMC TV has been a game changer for my life. It gives me an opportunity to meet new artists.
Right.
and to do what I love best, which is to be in front of a camera. You know, I love it. It's just, it makes me feel great. And it makes me feel great to have nice people on the show like yourself.
Well said. Thank you. Likewise. I mean, it's a pleasure to be here, you know.
And you can come back again. When you actually get the video for these songs, I want to showcase them on another show if you want to come back.
You see, that's incredible. That's awesome, man.
So I'd love to have I'd love to have you back because I like great people. But unfortunately, there's only one thing left to say. That's a wrap. Good night, folks.